Well, the holiday season burned a hole in some wallets out there and may have left some people in debt. Well, the new year's a good time to get your finances back in order. You have to make sure you're doing it the right way. Thanks so much for staying with us this afternoon. I'm Tamsin Fidel.
And I'm John Muller. Changing spending habits, it's a popular New Year's resolution. It could be tough, though, to keep, especially if you're doing it the wrong way.
Yeah, that's true. Joining us now with her top 5 money mistakes, financial expert Haley Sachs. Haley, thanks for being with us, because I know a lot of people want to hear what you have to say right now. So
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, so these aren't just money mistakes. These are mistakes that people don't even know they're making. Is that right?
Yes, I mean, we're never taught about finance, so many people are just blindly living their financial lives and making these huge mistakes that, we got to tell them about, starting with they don't have emergency funds.
Well, let's talk about that emergency fund. What is the best way to sock away money? How much should we sock away? And I got to ask you, for the person who says, I got no money to sock away, well, how do you get that emergency fund?
The best way is really just to start small. It sounds intimidating when you think about saving 3 to 6 months of expenses at one time. Who can do that in this economy? That's crazy. But, if you make little savings goals every month and you automate them towards a high yield savings account, which is where you should be keeping your emergency fund, by this time next year, you could have made major progress.
That's a way to look at it, really, is try to look further ahead. Because, because it can really be frustrating. Well, next is paying off the wrong debt first. So why is this the rule of thumb? Because I think that's really important to know.
It's so important. I think as a culture, we're so enthralled by this idea of being debt-free, but really, you should only be aggressively paying off your high interest rate debt. When you have lower interest rate debt, like debt that's below 7%, you can often earn a higher return investing your money than you would be saving by paying it off. So it's really important when you think about your debt to weigh the interest rates first.
So long as you invest it and don't just keep on adding to your debt.
Exactly.
All right, your third mistake you wanted to talk about, missing out on an employer match. What does it mean for people who don't know what it means and follow your employer doesn't match an offer? What do you do there? You just have to accept it as that?
Yes, I mean, so many employers with 401k plans will match up to a certain percent of your contribution. And this is probably the only 100% return you're ever guaranteed on your money. This is free money. So it's really important if you are offered an employer match at your company to take that. That's a super easy place to start in 2023, improving your finances, get that match.
All right, so you talk about a lifestyle creep. What is a lifestyle creep, and how can you stop that? What is it, first of all?
So lifestyle creep is basically when our, income increases, and alongside that, our expenses increase too. So we think, wow, we're making all this money. We can afford, the new house, a fancy vacation, dinners on me, the fabulous life. But the higher your expenses are, the higher your expenses are. So you're not going to have any of that extra income that you're earning left over to put towards your financial goals. So it's really important as you start to earn more to make sure that you keep your lifestyle the same, because that's how you're really going to be able to make progress financially.
All right, well, finally, you say people need to stop ignoring their credit scores. Why is that so important?
I always say your credit score is like your financial GPA. It's important, it lets you get a better rate on a car loan, or if you're renting an apartment, you can do it more easily. It's really important. And it's actually, when you keep an eye on it, it's easy to improve. So a lot of people really fear looking at their credit score, but it's better to just get it over with, look at it, and then try and make steps to improving it.
Haley, thank you so much. Always important year-round, but especially this time of year. Well, for more information or how to get more of Haley's tips out there, you can follow her on Instagram and TikTok at Mrs. Dow Jones.